Welcome to Garden Delights. I'm Susan Howington, Family Consumer Science Agent with the Henry County Cooperative Extension, partnership with the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension. Today we're going to talk about carrots, and I have a really good recipe for you. We're going to make carrot raisin salad, but just a little twist on it. And then you're going to also hear from Frank Hancock, our Agriculture and Natural Resource Agent, and he's going to tell you more how to grow those carrots. We'll see you back in just a little bit. Welcome back to Garden Delights. We're going to be talking about carrots today, and we're going to be making carrot raisin salad later. But let's talk about those carrots. You know, in our refrigerator at our home, we always have carrots. And if you don't like carrots, maybe you need to learn to like them because there's so much good things about carrots. But let's talk a little bit about carrots. You know, carrots are great for us. They're cholesterol free, they are fat free, they are low in sodium, which we all need to remember that we need things low in sodium. They are also high in vitamin C, which is a good thing, but they're also high in vitamin A. And what happens is when we eat this carrot, which you've heard of beta-carotene before, the beta-carotene breaks down in our liver and that produces that vitamin A that we're looking for. So it's a good source of vitamin A and vitamin C. So carrots in general are really good. Now this is like what I consider a medium-sized carrot. So a medium-sized carrot is going to be about 25 calories. In the recipe that we're going to use today, we're going to talk about shredded carrots. So about a cup of shredded carrots is about 45 calories. So you can see that this is a wonderful nutrient vegetable that we need to eat. Now selection, when you're looking at those, if you grow them in your garden, which is a good thing because you can pull your own carrots when you want to and eat them when they're ready. But if you're buying them at the grocery store, make sure you look at the color because the color is very important, that you have a deep green, orange color. But you know, some carrots are white, some carrots are purple. So you really just need to look at the carrots to see if the color is what you're looking for. And then also you want to make sure they are firm. They're not limp because you don't want any limpy carrots because they're not going to be good once you bring them home from the store. You want to make sure they're firm. They are firm to your hand. If you can touch the bag, and they should be in a bag. Now these are loosely bought, these carrots right here, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that you're feeling, when you buy them like this, individually, or if you're buying them in a bag, make sure you feel the bag. Make sure you feel firm, good color, crisp feeling with your hands as far as that, and hopefully when you buy them and you take them home, they are going to be crispy when you taste them in your mouth. So those are things you want to look for. If you have green tops to them like these do, once you bring them home, let's talk about the storage part of them. Once you bring these home, you want to store them in a bag. So these are loosely bundled up at the grocery store. But when you bring them to your home, you need to put them into a bag. But if you don't, they're going to dry out. So you want to keep them moist to a certain extent. And then also, before you put them into those bags, you want to cut the green tips off because that's also going to be very helpful, is to keep those carrots crispy, firm, good color, and not getting limp. And then once you put them in bags, it will keep in your refrigerator for about 2 weeks, which is a good thing. So you can keep your carrots about 2 weeks in the refrigerator. Now, a pound of carrots, which is about 6 to 8, I would think, about a pound of carrots, and you'll see it when you buy it on the bag if you buy it in a bag. But it will yield about 3 cups of shredded or about 3 cups of chopped. So if you're looking for a recipe and you're wondering about how many pounds a carrot would give you, that's what you're looking for, about an average as far as what you're going to get out of those 7 to 8 carrots. And that's medium-sized carrots. That's not large, that's a medium size, and this is what we consider like a medium size. So as you can see, carrots are a wonderful vegetable that we need to keep in our list of buying at the grocery store. Keep them in your refrigerator. They're great when you're got a little bit of hunger before you're eating something, and you can eat those. You know, also carrots are wonderful. You know, we hear about night vision. We don't see as good when we get older, Well, they also say carrots are really good for night vision too. So that's a really good excuse to keep those in your refrigerator. So keep them in your refrigerator, use them. And an old wise tale I always heard that, you know, if you eat carrots and you don't have a toothbrush, you can also clean your teeth with them too. So anyway, carrots are a wonderful thing to have as far as vegetables. Keep them in your refrigerator. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about that carrot raisin salad on Garden Delights. But first, let's hear from Frank Hancock on how to grow those carrots.
Today, we're going to be talking about carrots. Carrots are a root crop similar to sweet potatoes when we talked about sweet potatoes a while back, but the carrots grow a little bit differently than sweet potatoes. They grow best when the outside temperature is 70 degrees in the daytime and above 55 degrees at night. That's when you get the most growth out of your carrots. So they require full sun. They are generally directly sown. The seed is sown directly into the bed. Your planting dates on carrots would be, in this area we can grow 2 crops. So we'll plant the spring crop, we'll plant about 3 weeks before our last freeze, which would be sometime in mid-March in that area. That's when we would sow our seed. Then our fall crop we'll come back with in about 90 days before our first freeze, which if you back up from our normal first freeze, which is sometime towards mid to late November, you'll come back into about August to be about when you'd plant that fall crop to try to make it before the frost hit it. Carrots, when they first come up, they are very susceptible to frost. Until they get about 6 leaves on them, frost will kill them. So that's why you have to be careful in the springtime when you plant them, not to let them run into a frost. So we're going to sow them in a row, about 1 inch apart. It takes them about 21 days to germinate, so they don't just pop right up. So you'll hardly ever see them be transplanted out of a pot. The seed is sown directly into the ground, into the garden. In this case, I got 1 carrot here in a pot, but you would sow them. You would put down about a cup of 10-10-10 per 10 feet of row space and work that into the ground good. And then as it grows, you come back with, as it gets to be about 4 inches tall, you come back with a couple of teaspoons beside the row. And then when it gets about 6 to 8 inches tall, you can come back with another couple of teaspoons. You got to be careful not to put too much nitrogen on them. They don't require a whole lot of nitrogen, and you can cause the carrot to split if it gets too much nitrogen on it. So we want moderate amounts. We don't want to use any Miracle Grow on these that's high in nitrogen, because that will cause us some problems. So they require regular watering. You need to have it, in the early stages, you need to control your moisture pretty good. They like to have moist soil. You don't want to overdo it, you don't want to underdo it, but keep them moist on a regular schedule when they first start growing. As they get older, you can start letting them go until they need to be watered. But early on, the bed needs to stay moist. Your bed needs to be deep. You got to make a good bed to grow carrots. Obviously, they're a root crop, and we want them to grow straight down in the ground. So in heavy soils like we've got, you need to select varieties that don't go so deep. Chantenay is one of them. So you don't want to plant a carrot that needs to go down a foot in the ground in order to make a carrot, because in this red clay he's not going to make it, and it'll start curling around and going in other directions. You also need your bed to be soft. It needs to be deep. It needs to have no rocks in it. The carrot root, when it goes down, if it hits a rock, it will deflect off of that rock, and sometimes it'll fork, and so you'll wind up with a carrot that's two carrots in one, and those are not real attractive when you get ready to put them on the plate to eat them. So we got to be careful of that. So we want to watch out if we let them get too dry, and then they get wet again, they'll split. If we put too much nitrogen on them, they'll split. If you put them in an area where the roots can't go down, they'll fork and do all kind of strange things. So you have to be careful of how you do that. But they work well in a raised bed. In our area, I would recommend it if you can put them in a raised bed, because you can make that soil deep and have good texture to it, where just planting them out here in the red clay can cause you some problems. So that's pretty much, as they grow, the crown, which is this area right in here. I'll uncover this one a little bit, and maybe we can see that. You'll see that out of the ground when they start growing. So you need to put some mulch over it to keep that covered, or that top part of your carrot will turn green. So they need to be mulched as you get them out. And like I said, about 1 inch apart in a row, we may want to come back and thin them out to 3 inches once they get up. A lot of people will plant radishes with them, because when you plant a row of carrots, you have to be patient, because it takes them a while to come up. It may take them 21 days before they actually germinate. So people will plant radishes with them. The radishes will come up pretty quick, and they'll keep the soil broken up a little bit, and then you can come back and eat the radishes whenever they're ready, but they'll kind of define where your row is, so you won't lose track of it. So you can sow them out there with some radish, and that's pretty much, we put our rows 18 to 24 inches apart. The fertilizer we already talked about. We've already talked about the moisture. So next step is just going to be, if you grew a carrot, you come back in here and dig it up at some point. And this is one of your shorter varieties of carrots here. And so there it is, and it's ready to eat. So I think what we need to do now is take it inside and see what Susan's going to make out of it for us today.
Today we're talking about carrots, and we're going to be making carrot raisin salad. And this is a really simple recipe. It's got a little twist than what you probably normal, just a plain old carrot raisin salad. So I'm going to tell you little things that I like about it, and then some things that you might can change also. Now, one thing we need to know on carrots, no matter how you're going to eat them, we do have to wash them, because carrots do grow in the ground. So make sure when you're doing any kind of recipe or you're going to eat a carrot, make sure you wash them, because you have to wash them. The recipe is, I'm going to mix up a little dressing part of it first, and it will kind of make it real tasty, and a different twist. Besides using sugar, I'm going to be using honey. So the first thing we're going to do, instead of mayonnaise also, I'm going to be using fat-free yogurt. So this is a cup of yogurt, and this is non-fat. We're going to mix the dressing part of it first. And then I also have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And this is going to help to keep those carrots to the color they need to be kept. So I'm just going to mix this just a little bit, the lemon juice and the yogurt, just for a second, just to get those kind of incorporated together. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of honey. So I'm opting out on my sugar, and I'm going with honey. And I love honey. Any way I can use honey, I will use it over sugar if I can in a recipe. So I'm going to mix that around. And this is going to give it that sweet taste, but it's not going to It's going to be a little different from what you're used to. So this is just a little bit of mixing with this. And the last thing I'm going to add to give a little twist to it is 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. So we're going to mix that together to make our base for what we're going to toss our salad in. So this is going to be different from what you're used to probably, but it's very tasty. And I love cinnamon, and you know, they say cinnamon's supposed to be really good for us, so this is the reason why we're using cinnamon also. And if you don't like cinnamon, you know, you could take it out too. And if you don't like honey, like I was saying, you could adapt it to put sugar also in there. And if you wanted to really cut back on the sugar part, you could use a sugar substitute also if you wanted to. So those are some options that you could think about. So I think I just about have this mixed up good. I just want to make sure I have all that good cinnamon mixed up. All right, so that's our base for our we're going to toss the salad in, the carrot raisin salad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, this is 4 cups of carrots, and I used a food processor to do this, but if you have just a regular grater or whatever you use, you could use anything just so you grate it up to a a small kind of shred that you can use that you know you're going to be able to bite on and not be too stringy. So something in that range is what you're looking for. So I'm going to set this right here, and then I am going to use golden raisins. Now you could use the regular raisins, but I really like golden raisins, and this is about 3/4 cups of the raisins. So I'm going to add that to the carrots. And then just a little bit of fruit to it again. We're going to add, this is pineapple, crushed pineapple, and this is about 1/2 cup of crushed pineapple. So we're going to add this to the carrot raisins too. And then I'm going to toss this just a little bit because I just want to make sure that I have this all tossed together. Doesn't that look good? The colors gives it a little bit of different look than this plain old carrots. You can see the raisins, you can see the pineapple, and it also just gives a little bit sweeter taste to your carrots. And your carrots are sweet, so you know they're not where you have to add anything to them, but just to make this salad, this looks really good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to we're going to pour in that dressing I made up, and we're going to combine this together. And I can smell the cinnamon, and it smells really good. Really good. I think just cinnamon and honey together sounds really good to me also. So I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to toss this into the salad. And I just want to toss it till it just kind of incorporates all through it and combines it. Gives it a good texture to where you can spoon it out. This is really a simple recipe, a tasty recipe that I think you will enjoy. And you can see it's coming together really good. Now the recipe is going to tell you also, this will serve about 8 people. And you will want to, if you can serve it as is, but it's going to be even better if you can put it in your refrigerator for about 15 minutes just to kind of get it chilled and combined together. But that is what I say a good looking carrot raisin salad should look like. So just remember, it's got a little bit of different things than probably what you're used to, and it's combined really well. So just keep that in mind when you're putting it together. It's going to combine really good together. Your yogurt's going to take the place of some of the other things you can put in there to make it high calorie. So we're trying to keep it a low calories, and this is going to be really good. Put it on your list to try this recipe. This is what we call a simple carrot raisin recipe. Carrot raisin salad recipe, but I will tell you, it's a good one too. So we'll see you back in just a little bit. We'll have Frank come in and taste our carrot raisin salad. Welcome back to Garden Delights. We are going to be tasting our carrot raisin salad, Frank, and
I'm ready.
I know you're ready.
I'm ready. You know, I've been studying carrots a little bit.
I figured you would.
You know, carrots are probably the only vegetable that I know of that has its own museum.
Really?
Really. So if you want to know everything there is to know about carrots, you just go to www.carrotmuseum.com. That will take you to everything you ever want to know about carrots, from all the way back to 200 years BC, right up to the present day. So everybody should go look at the Carrot Museum.
Interesting. I will do that and see what I can learn about carrots today.
I'm ready.
All right, let's taste it. Now, you tell me if you taste something different from what you're used to eating a carrot raisin salad.
All right. It's good.
That is good, Frank.
Mm-hmm.
It's got just enough sweet to it. Can you taste the cinnamon in it?
Mm-hmm.
I put just a little bit in there, just a little different twist. And of course, I put golden raisins in it. Some people don't like golden raisins, maybe they want to use the other raisins, just the regular raisins, but I like my golden raisins, so.
Well, now, where do golden raisins come from?
That's a good question.
Golden grapes.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a good winner.
Or scuppernons. Could make some golden raisins.
That's exactly right.
Now, some people, and I know some of these people out there that we're talking to, are not doing their fair share. Because in my research, I found out that you will eat 10,000 carrots in your lifetime. And some of them are slacked off. They're not eating enough carrots. So they need to get out, get more carrots so they can have stuff like this to eat.
That sounds like a good idea. And like I say, just have in your refrigerator to take them out and eat them like you're talking about, or make you up a carrot raisin salad. This is good, folks. You need to try it. Check out our website, and you can see the recipe on the website. And we'll see you back on Garden Delights.
I wonder how they count how many carrots that would be when they're all ground up like that.